Alright, so today we are editing this image of Jude Duarte trapped in the mortal realm. If you have not read The Wicked King by Holly Black, stop watching now. There are spoilers in here of the Cruel Prince book series. But we've got this image of Jude laying out on the couch watching reality television. She's in Vivi's apartment. She's been exiled from Elfhame, and we wanted to give this kind of a gloomy look. So Macayla's laid out, and we've got a cell phone light lit over her to give it a really harsh light on that back wall, kind of like a television would make. We did have to shoot this in our Airbnb when we were in Brooklyn, so we improvised a little bit. But I'm starting off like I usually do. First, a small liquify layer, and then moving into the dodging and burning, working mostly in the highlights and the shadows target area. And here's your liquify. We're just making small adjustments. The wig was sliding off a little bit, and we had a little bit of straight hair, so I kind of pulled those in. And then otherwise, we're going to start creating that blue light from the TV. I don't know if you guys noticed, but that left eye did not really have a catch light in it. And it definitely would if the angle of the TV was where she was looking. So I used the white brush to just make a tiny dot in there and sharpen it up a little bit. And that way it looked like it was shining in both of her eyes. Now we are taking down some of the harsh details, like a little bit of her bra was showing through the shirt and it was a little bit distracting, or her zipper on her pants, things like that that would take your attention away from the notebook and her facial expression. And then we're dodging and burning again a little bit with the blue and creating a harsher shadow behind her, which the TV would create in a natural setting. This is the fake glow from the TV. We want to make sure it's coming from a point of origin that makes sense based off of where she's looking. And we've used the Gaussian blur effect to dull it out a little bit, and then used our blending mode to change the way it affects her. But we do want the light behind the shadow behind her to have a blue glow to it like a television would. Otherwise, we've taken down the effects a little bit because it was a little bit too harsh. Going back in and honing in on some of the details, making sure that the highlights are showing through, and then taking that down with the opacity a little bit. And then we're going to start moving into the effect of the blue glow on the outside around her, because around her it would be more spread out, but on her face we want it to be a little bit more direct. So we're going to use a different method for bringing the blues in. Otherwise, we want to make sure that it's kind of dark around her because it is nighttime, and that's why it is so blue on her face. We want to make sure that all of the lighting makes sense, which is super important. And then we're going to start going in here and highlighting some of the things we want you to pay attention to. That glow on her lip. We want the book that says Carlene to be really, really bright. Macayla had the great idea to write his name over and over again like he did with Jude in the first book, so that is where that idea came from. And since it's important, we want to make sure it's a brighter point of the photo. Otherwise, we're pulling in some stock image to create kind of a whimsical light because this is a magic book, or a book about magic, so we do want to have a little bit of an effect going on there. And now what you're seeing is just some of the fine tuning. So yeah, that curves effect there, that's definitely helping with the glow, and then we've blurred out the particles a little bit. But that is essentially the end stages of this photo. Thanks for watching, guys.